Solopreneurs, how are you being called to share your unique song today? The song that is on your soul. Spirit wants you to step fully into the fullness of who you are. You are a being with incredible depth, and you have so much more to offer than what is on the surface. And Spirit wants you to share that and look for that in others. Hello, my beautiful solopreneurs. I am so excited to see you today. Thank you so much for being here and for showing up for yourself by watching this reading. Um, welcome. This is not about predicting your future. Reading tarot and oracle cards is not about predicting your future. It's about helping you to gain greater clarity, confidence, and trust in yourself. All of the answers that you seek are always within, and I am here to help you unlock that. My name is Kristin Nicole Lobdell, and I believe that self-leadership is the foundation of creating a meaningful life and a sustainable business. Today, I am going to take you through the K&L Co. self-leadership spread, a five-card framework created to help you regulate, validate, witness the deeper message unfolding, receive aligned guidance, and integrate the wisdom into your next steps. As always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. These are general readings intended to support your own self-reflection and a greater connection to your intuition. If you would like personalized guidance, I have a link below. You can check that out and sign up for an intuitive guidance session with me. I would be honored to hold that space for you. So, what is this message? As I mentioned, the overall energy today is coming from a card deck that I really love. I've had it for a while. It's the Starseed Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, and Spirit was just showing me that this was the deck that we wanted to start off for our overall energies today. And so let me just read to you what Rebecca wrote around this card. It's funny, I got to be honest, every time this card pops up, which is somewhat frequently for me, um, I'm always like, what is this card mean? Like what, not this card again. You know what I mean? It's like not one of those like super exciting cards to get. But every time I revisit it, I'm like, you know what? There's obviously something here that Spirit wants me to hear. And so let's open our minds to look past the surface. And, I'm getting that that is really how we need to approach this card is, looking, don't judge a book by its cover, so to speak. So it says the whale and orca elders are benevolent cosmic beings here to anchor a frequency of love onto the planet, to harmonize it with their song. As they weave around the oceans, they do so much more than any of us know. Their physical presence affects Earth's magnetic field, and their harmonics call us to wake up and remember our own soul's song. Looking into the eye of a whale is something you'll never forget. Whales see into your very being, and in an instant, you're changed forever. They see beyond the physical, the woundings, the identity, the personality, the story. They see right into your soul. If you pull this card, you're being called to surrender to your deepest truth and share it with potency, to bow to who you truly are, to stretch your heart wide enough to hold it all, to leave your fears, doubts, and baggage at the door, to question any part of you that doesn't feel good enough. The whale and orca elders want you to give others the privilege of seeing who you truly are, and for you to see the same in other beings, to drop your hangups and personality flaws and get busy revealing the unique note your soul came here to sing. Allow the song that echoes in the four chambers of your heart to emanate in all four directions. Peel back the layers of suffering and pain and reveal to others your soul's true song. and endeavor to see the soul of all those that you meet. Yeah, so there's certainly a message around, not, going deeper, not taking everything at face value. But, the more powerful message here is about, leaving our baggage behind, not worrying about like all of the things that we tend to overthink about, being a perfectionist and worrying that we need to be perfect in front of others. In this day and age when we have so much technology available to us for us to create things that are perfect or that look perfect on the outside, these days people are craving authenticity. So, if we over edit things, then we lose the ability for the privilege that others have to see us in our truest form. When we show up in our flaws that actually make us perfectly imperfect, then that's when we really inspire others. And so, for me, this shows up and, just making these videos and having the courage to post them, even though I know I'm not always putting my words together in the way that I wish they would come together. Things don't always flow out eloquently and perfectly, right? But I trust that, for example, when I see other creators who do show up with their imperfections, that inspires me even more and gives me courage to believe that I can actually do something too. And so another way that this is kind of showing up as well is that my business is kind of a combination of things that are really non-traditional, and so that represents my unique song. I'm an executive business manager, but I have this intuitive side of me that absolutely loves connecting with my intuition and reading tarot cards. And so that would be an example of me sharing my whale's song with potency, right? Sharing who I truly am, regardless of how much I might be afraid that it might scare away potential business clients. I truly see that both of these modalities are helpful in self-leadership pursuits, right? Helping business owners lead themselves from within. And so, how are you being called to share your unique song? Let me know in the comments. I would absolutely love to know if there's something in your life that you are, wanting to bring into the world, but maybe you're hesitating because of what others might think, or you're afraid it might not work. I'd love to support you in the comments. So let's get into the tarot for even greater guidance around this beautiful energy. In our regulate position, what is it that my solopreneurs need to hear, Spirit? Thank you. Only love and light is allowed into this space. How about in our validate position? Next, what is actually happening beneath the surface in our witness position? Thank you. What? Oh, wow. I can't make this stuff up, you guys. It's totally on point with the overall energy of what we already talked about. The description of that card, it is such a, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay. Um, and then what will shift when we embody this? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Let me share with you what we just pulled here. Oh, okay. So, it's interesting because this card came up yesterday as well, and the guidance was to release your fears and anxieties. This is the Nine of Swords. And when the Nine of Swords comes up, we are experiencing lots of anxiety, maybe limiting beliefs that are holding us back. As I mentioned, like if maybe you're afraid of what other people are thinking, maybe you're going through a depressed and difficult time. In the regulate position, this is what is grounding you right now. And so, my dear sweet solopreneurs, I want you to understand um, you know, let's bring your nervous system back to safety. It's okay to experience these feelings given the things that you've been through. It is completely normal to have anxiety and fear and worry. Um, and so this energy is simply asking you to slow down and pay attention to it because it's coming up for healing. And so let's just give ourselves permission right now to feel that. Um, I also want to encourage you because this is the Nine of Swords. Um, it is near, nines represent being near completion. So we're getting to the end of a cycle here. And so this isn't something that needs to go on forever. It is something that, once we process it, we can release it and move forward. Um, so that is coming up in your regulate position. And it's probably focused around your thoughts, right? Swords are about thoughts and communication, your inner truth, right? Discovering your inner truth. So again, this is coming up so that you can release it and return to your truth. In the validate position, what this is what you are feeling that deserves to be honored. Um, this is heartbreak. You've been through a lot of difficult times. You've been through some pain, some sorrow, some grief. And threes are about growth and expansion, right? So that tells me that this pain has not been for nothing. It has been preparing you for something greater. And so, can we honor these feelings and not try to fix them, but just feel what they are trying to teach you? Because there is always a message hidden in our pain that we can use to lift ourselves up as well as help others through the things that we've been through. And so this is the key to what your unique song, what is your soul calling you to show up and share with others? Because, you might be, maybe you're being asked to, um, you know, illuminate that so that somebody else can be inspired, or even so that you can be, more blessings can come in for you as well, so that you can be elevated, was the word I was looking for. Um, there's always a purpose. There is always a purpose to it. Sometimes we just have to feel it to see it. And in the witness position, this is what is actually happening beneath the surface. So this is the Knight of Pentacles, or the Knight of Coins. And the Knight of Coins represents our physical reality around us. This is probably, knights are about action. And I want to say that this is like the slowest knight in the deck. A lot of times knights can be fast moving. And I'm not saying he's super slow, but this, pentacles are represented by earth energy, which tends to be slower than air energy, right? And so, this is about, creating security for yourself. This is about taking action in the direction of creating stability and security in your life, right? Because that's what pentacles can represent, money, work, home, health. Um, and this is affecting, nights are about, taking action in the pursuit of your goal. And so what is actually happening beneath the surface is that um, you're learning to take actions that actually support the direction that you're trying to go in. The security and the foundations that you are trying to create in your life, the manifestations that you're trying to create, you're learning the actions that align with what you actually want to see in your life. And the yellow cards in the deck are always positive. So again, this further points to the fact that there is a purpose for the pain, because it's setting you up for a more positive future. And so then in our guide position, this is what your most aligned next step is. Um, you're being guided to uh, let go, release the baggage of the past. As I read in the Whale and Orc Elders card, it blatantly said that in the description, right? It was like, leave the old baggage behind, share your unique song, regardless of the fears and the doubts that might come up. And so, your most aligned next step is to allow yourself to transition away from these any thoughts and fears that may be coming up, right? I'm seeing three sword cards in this deck as well. So what that's telling me is that you've been overthinking and you've been getting hung up on these just these fears and doubts that are holding you back. And your guidance is to put the work in to let them go because it's going to help you create this foundation. Um, and so when you do this, what becomes available when you leave that stuff behind, so they are leaving behind the rough waters and they're going to more smoother, you know, calmer shores, if you will. So the water over here is really calm and placid, and this is more rough. And so it's about letting go of the thoughts, the fears, the anxieties that are holding you back and replacing those things with things that bring you peace and calm. And the things that are bringing you peace and calm are the unique, what lights you up inside? What brings you more happiness? What makes your heart sing? What makes your soul sing, right? Those kinds of things are going to lead to those calmer shores. And then when you do this, what shifts when you embody this is you get the Six of Pentacles. And again, it could lead to more money for you, right? Like maybe you're holding yourself back from this thing that could actually bring you in more money. It doesn't have to only pertain to money, though. It could pertain to work, home, health, or physical, something in the physical reality, some other thing in the physical reality. But there's also like you're able to show up with more generosity, right? This card is about how this man is sharing what he has to give, right? He's giving some bread to this man and you know, I don't know what else he's giving to the other guy. Maybe he's giving bread to both of them, but essentially he's sharing something with these two men here. And there's a scale here that points to it's going to become, you're going to enter into more balanced exchanges for, what you give. You're going to kind of give a little, you're going to receive more in return for what you give. Um, and so, yeah, you're going to be able to step into this energy of like more balanced giving and receiving, as well as generosity, and an ability to kind of share the wealth, if you will. Okay, well, I trust that you found this to be helpful. Thank you so much for being here. One thing I did just want to share with you guys today before I got into the reading, I should have shared it a little earlier with you, but I have created you a powerful guide to asking questions with around tarot readings. I'm really excited about it because this is my signature guide. And as I've mentioned, you know, I believe that the purpose of an intuitive reading is not to hand you certainty, it's to help you reconnect with your own wisdom and to navigate the energies. And so, a way that these readings can become even more powerful for you is by asking the right questions. So, I have created my K&L Co signature guide to asking powerful questions that help you unleash the self leader within. And that is my gift to you absolutely for free. So check out the link in the description and pick up your guide to asking powerful questions. Until next time, I'm wishing you so much love. Namaste.